So welcome back to what must be episode 8 now of the 76 Capri series. If you remember in the last episode, we sort of got most of the wiring knocked out, working, and then we want to move on to vacuum. I don't want to touch the vacuum in the car just yet until I've sort of sussed out what's in the bay and we've cleaned it up a bit so we know what's going on where, and then we're going to replace all the lines. So I haven't got any new lines yet because I've got to check sizes, but I have got a bunch of my own sort of spares and stuff to test over there. So yeah, this could be an interesting one. We've got a few diagrams from quite helpful people on Capri World North America, but we don't actually tally up this engine there for a 2.3 Lima, so not quite the same, but hopefully it gives us a gist of what's what. Oh, thank you, Ed. So I think we'll crack on, we'll start tearing this apart, we'll see what's what, and then if we can get this knocked out, we can have a look at maybe simplifying the engine bay a bit more. So we got a bit of progress now. This here was the smog pump. So the smog pump, which was belt driven off the engine, and that would, I believe, send out air here, which would go through this hose, through this whatever you call it thingy again, basically a vacuum kind of valve type thingy, whatever, and then go down to the exhaust manifolds. So it's this side removed, which is good, and the stupid bracket which was in my way when I was doing the spark plugs, and the old air filter cold intake pipe which is knackered. So that came off of vacuum hose there, which was wrong. I'm pretty sure that should have come off of a vacuum solenoid and been controlled by the temperature switch in the airbox. So that's one issue there potentially solved, and it could mean we got a bit of an explanation for what these other vacuum valves down here do now. So next up now we can actually see a bit more in this bay, not much still, but we can see a bit more. I think our next bit now is to sort the EGR stuff out, so we'll work out where the EGR bits are in this car, what vacuum bits tie up, because once again we got, I think there's 2 vacuum valves down here, and yeah, you might not better see them down there. 2 vacuum valves, and they both have no cables in them whatsoever. So pipes, sorry, not cables. So clearly if the EGR system is still connected up here, it's been connected up wrong, which won't help anything. So we'll investigate that in a minute and see what else we can find wrong. Okay, so we haven't done too bad today. I've only spent a few hours on it. Got all the vacuum bits in the engine bay, well, as far as the engine and the sussed out, sorted. So we've lost one thermostatically controlled vacuum valve for the EGR. We've lost both of the electronic vacuum solenoids, which weren't connected anyway. We've lost the whole sort of pile of vacuum lines and disconnected bits going everywhere. We've now kept the Dizzy advance and the retard, which I'm still not sure. There's a few ways of doing it. It's got a split dual vacuum Dizzy on this thing. So one side for retard, one side for advance. Obviously normally in most cars, especially the old engines, you just have advance. I think the retard is for if it gets too hot, it retards the timing, and a few other bits like that. Not technically needed. I think it's more of a also emission control sort of setup it's got on it. But it is currently working, so we might just keep it. There's no real need to remove it, but it can still be removed to simplify things further if we want to. So, in the bay a minute. We've now got a fair bit more space. It's not tied up in it, it's just sort of proof of concept. I'm still going to suss out what this thing is. It might be something to do with evaporation for the fuel system, so we'll look into that. And all the valves below that. We've got to find out what all these vacuum lines here do, which are to do with the things below this and the heater and that in the car. Yes, we've got one thermostatic control valve there. The EGR one's going to go. I want to ideally blank off the EGR valve if possible to tidy it up. We need to remove the lines the exhaust valves there for the smog pump. So we want to try and blank them off the back of each manifold if possible. Since obviously removing the smog pump, it turns out the smog pump drove the water pump, so we need to come up with a new method of doing that now. AC, well, the clutch kicks in that, I don't think it actually works. I've got to test it out. I couldn't quite tell if it's getting colder or not. So short of tidying this all up a bit more again, we're definitely making some good progress, but it runs so much nicer now. So much nicer. And it didn't run too badly before. So that one there is the smog pump. I think I've shown you all this already, haven't I, before? And that was actually a bypass valve. So with the vacuum, I can't remember applied to it or not applied to it, or bypass, so the pumps don't burn out and such. And the rest of the crap here. So, not too bad for a couple hours of progress on this thing and a lot of learning. If you happen to have enjoyed this potentially short episode and want to see more, then why not stick around and follow the channel? You can like the video, comment and say what you think, whether it's bad or good. I'll take any kind of feedback, and subscribe to see the next lot. So, until then, I'll see you again. Bye.